Have you considered adoption?
Is it awkward doing the semen test? How much does all of this cost?
How to be happy for friends who are able to get pregnant and have babies while you can't. How has this journey impacted your marriage and your overall mental health?
Today we're going to be answering your questions about fertility, the process we have been going through, guys, and we have a lot to share. We got a lot to learn together, so buckle those seat belts because it's about to get juicy.
Okay, so this is a question that we got a lot. It says, have you considered adoption?
We haven't really talked about this much, but we'll just put it out there on camera. I think that would be my last option. If we go through testing, IUI, IVF, and if nothing is working, then yes, I would consider adopting.
In my point of view, I've always told Saz that I wouldn't, even when we were dating, remember, I would tell you I would adopt a baby, but I would like, and I think it's very natural that we want to have a baby that is made of the two of us. So our goal is first to have the baby of the two of us, but we're not close, or at least I'm not close to adopting in the future, because I actually feel like I could love a baby that's not mine. Like, I feel that I am able to do that. I don't know if a lot of people are able to do that, but I feel like I would. So for now, it's not our first option, but it's not something that I'm completely close to.
This one is how to increase your semen count in men. Okay, now there is a few ways. The cool thing about men is that we regenerate every 3 months. So I don't know if you guys know that. For women, unfortunately, once they lose an egg, it doesn't come back. For men, if you test today one way, you can test in 3 months and be a completely different exam. And you've seen in our process that actually happened to me. I tested bad, then good, now bad. Right? And you can go to the description if you're new here and see the other videos about this whole process.
There's also doctors who specialize in increasing the morphology, the speed, and I'm guessing that they do take some medicine.
I haven't gotten there yet.
We haven't gotten there yet, but we have been told that you can go to a doctor to try to help your situation. So if you have problems with sperm, there's still more hope, I think, than if you as a woman don't have eggs or follicles. I think that's more difficult.
And then, of course, good nutrition, no heavy drinking, no drugs. That's gonna help increase your count.
How to be happy for friends who are able to get pregnant and have babies while you can't. I've never really felt unhappy when my friends get pregnant. My two best friends, they have 2 beautiful daughters, and I feel like an aunt to them. And whenever I see them, I'm filled with joy. My neighbor just had her baby, and I'm filled with joy. So I thank God that I haven't gotten to a place where I feel like sour about me not having a baby, because I feel like that is so God-given that if it hasn't come to me yet, then there has to be a reason why, or maybe he won't. Like, I also have to accept the fact that maybe he won't, or maybe he will do it in a different way. So I have not felt any bitterness. I think it's the opposite. Every time I'm around a baby or my friends' kids, I just give them so much love, and I'm grateful that I can have people close to me that have kids so I can experience that with them.
Now, a good one is, we've gotten a lot of these on YouTube, is how much does all of this cost? Now, this process is very expensive.
And insurances don't cover this unless maybe you work for a company or something that they do offer it, but
for us, it's been all out of pocket. There's no insurance that covers this. Definitely a luxury, guys, doing all this. So just to give you an idea, we've done 5 tests. We did the first sonogram, genetic, SSG, HSG, saline, semen. 5. Total $3,500.
Yeah, around there.
That's where we're at right now, just for testing. So imagine, we haven't even touched IUI, we haven't even touched IVF, and I'm sure that could be going up 20,000 plus, 10,000 plus. I don't even know. I
do believe that the doctor said that if they do remove the little polyp that I have, insurance should cover that, but this is definitely an expensive process, and I've gotten a lot of message from you guys that, I wish I could do the process. So I'm really grateful that we are, but I also think that they should cover this. Now that this is happening to us and we talk about you guys and everybody, a lot of people have struggled with this. It's actually surprising to see how many people struggle with this. So I wish
There
that
should
they
be
did cover it.
there should be an insurance like there is for pregnancies to cover the pregnancy cost. They should do one for preventive, just in
Yeah.
case the couple can't conceive
Yeah, that's
naturally.
true. I wonder if they have that. Well, we don't have it.
We don't have
so-
that, but that could be a good business.
Yeah.
So, all right. So yes, guys. So just be aware. Make sure you do your research before you get into this process, because you will spend quite a lot of money.
Yeah. So how has this journey impacted your marriage and your overall mental health? So we're both gonna answer this individually because we are two different people and we've gone through different processes during this. So
You
go
start.
first.
No, if you
Okay.
introduce it, you go.
Okay. So how has it affected my marriage? I think that marriage as a relationship between me and Sebas, it hasn't really affected it in a negative way. I actually felt that after doing this process, I had a bigger desire to have a baby with him. So it actually increased my desire to do whatever I can to get that goal, which is
Yeah.
for us to have a baby. Now, mentally, is where I think maybe me as a woman, I struggle with a lot of uncertainty. Like I don't like uncertainty. And if I can be completely honest, during those 2 weeks of when we started testing till I got the HSG, it was very hard on me mentally. I was crying a lot. I was losing a lot of weight. I wasn't eating. Because just the fact that I was waiting for someone to tell me you're infertile or there's something wrong with you, because once you start the process, you begin to learn that there's things that you can control, like his sperm, maybe get it better. But everything with the woman is kind of out of our hands. Like you're born with follicles, you have a certain amount of eggs. And even if I do IUI or IVF, I'm the one who has to do the medicine, inject myself, go through the process. So mentally, this was very, very hard for me. It was 2 weeks that were very gloomy. And all I ask God is like, please don't let me have something major. Because you never want to feel like, oh, I'm infertile. Like that was my biggest fear, for the doctor to tell me, okay, you will never have a baby naturally, or you're messed up. So I can actually, all those women who have gotten bad results worse than mine, I can put myself in your shoes. It's not easy, and I pray that you guys go through this process and that God blesses you with your baby, because it's not easy. And I felt so weak during those 2 weeks that I can't imagine how you guys must feel. So for a woman, this process was definitely very hard.
I think for a guy, in my case, how this has affected my marriage, I think it's you have to deal with all that emotions.
Yeah.
And I don't say it in a bad way, but it's a lot.
I fought it.
You have to deal with all that, and you have to be patient. You have to be there for the person. Now I can see why it can take a toll on your marriage, because I think once frustration starts creeping in, or like maybe blaming each other, not that we do that, but I can imagine like, oh, it's you that your sperm doesn't work, or no, it's because your eggs don't work, for example. I think you just have to be in a position of teamwork so that doesn't happen, in a position of believing together, and it could actually bring you closer. It doesn't have to bring you apart. In our case, I think it's brought us closer, because now we're believing for something new outside of our regular lives, and we're believing that it will happen together, and we're on this journey. We're obviously investing our time, our money, our emotions. So the more you invest in something, the more you're gonna value it. So now we both want it even more going through this process. So it's how you see things, like anything in life. So we see it positively. I'm a very positive person, so just gotta make sure to be patient and be there for your girl, but it can bring you guys closer. This is a good one, guys. My boyfriend takes hair loss medicine. He won't stop. Do you think that has affected your fertility? I took minoxidil, and the first test that I took, my semen test, it was very bad. My sperm was basically deformed. And then the doctor said if I did heavy drugs, which I don't, and you guys know the story, the only thing that was different was the minoxidil treatment I was doing for hair growth on my beard. And I immediately stopped it, so I got off of it, and it took a long time. I would say 8 months when I so that happened in February, November. I tested again, and it was amazing test results. So we have to conclude that it was the minoxidil.
Yes.
We did research that does say that it does affect. We met people that have told us that it has affected them as well. So if your boyfriend is doing it and you're trying to conceive, I will always recommend to stop taking any hair supplements.
And if you want to hear a similar story, there's a comedian on Netflix, Andrew Schultz or whatever. He talks about that, and it's the same thing. He was using hair growth treatment and it affected his sperm, and they ended up doing IVF. So I would say to your husband, like, please stop.
That doesn't happen to us. But no, the sperm regenerates.
Yeah.
So listen, that's the amazing thing.
Yeah.
Is it awkward doing the semen test?
Is it?
So it is.
Wait, I want you to describe the whole experience.
Okay, here we go.
Because I also wonder what's inside the room. Like the other day we were laughing, cracking up because I kept asking you like, oh, do they...
All right, so look guys, it is awkward the first time. I mean, this is my third time testing, so I guess I'm a veteran at this, okay? So I got you, all right? So to give you an idea, there is always a room that's reserved for extraction. We're gonna call it the extraction process. And they typically, not all, I've been to 3 different clinics. They're all a little bit different. Some give you lube, some don't. Some allow you to even be with your partner. Some allow you to not be with your partner.
I've never got inside.
Yeah.
Never.
Some have TVs, some have
For
nothing.
what?
Listen, I don't know. I can only imagine.
Did you watch something?
No,
That's a sin, baby.
I didn't watch. I'm already doing the dirty.
Sebastian. No, we have to pause the video.
Nah.
¿Qué viste?
Some have TVs, and
which one had a TV out of
the second, I don't remember.
The one in...
No, not this one.
No?
This one had a computer that was turned off, so it didn't really, it was looked like an office.
Okay.
So what always happens is, I swear to you, I kid you not, babe.
Bring
me the dog pad? Give me a dog pad.
No.
Please. In all 3 places I've been to, they give you a wee pad this size, and they put it under the chair. So you're welcomed in by a dog pad and then a chair. And then either you're facing a computer, you're facing a TV and whatnot. And so before that, this is actually the tedious part, is you have to fill out a couple of forms. So then that takes the thing long. Like that makes the process long. So before you get to it, you have to fill out paperwork. Okay.
So you're already not in the mood.
No, you're definitely not. And so typically you're walked in by a female nurse.
Oh my.
Okay, in all 3 places there's been a female nurse, and then she kind of knows what you're gonna do. So there's like that awkward silence. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna check my sperm. You know, I got deformed sperm, but here we are. So it's funny because in the first one, I felt kind of awkward because there was a waiting room. There was a line of like 10 dudes back to back just sitting there waiting to sit on a dog pad and do their thing.
I do remember my experience in the first time we did it. I remember that another guy had called it the first time we did it, because that was the weirdest. The second time, you're used to it.
Yeah.
So the first time he did it, I remember that they called this guy. They're like, Mr. John Doe, right? Come in for your analysis. You see my analysis. And then when I saw him walk out, he just went like.
It's a walk of shame.
Everybody knows what they're doing, so it is a walk of shame.
Listen,
That's funny.
I am very comfortable in that sense, so it is awkward, but nice smile. Hi, you know, hi and bye.
And with the hand, hi.
Okay, so let me continue. So then you're in the room, you sit on the pee pad, you fill out the form, and then you get to it, all right? When you're finished, you have to put it in a cup, seal it, and hand it over to the front desk. So you're literally walking around with an extraction in a cup, right? And then you have to give it to the nurse. So I can only imagine, like, if there's any spills, or that's kind of nasty.
And you know what's funny?
Hold on, that's nasty. Imagine I hand you a cup.
Ew.
And it probably got some excrement on the sides oozing out.
And you know what's funny?
That's
The
crazy.
last time we did it at the fertility clinic, Sebas is like, we were driving back home. Maybe this is too much information, but Sebas was like, no, you're gonna see that it's gonna come out super good. That thing was like cottage cheese. he's like, that thing was like
Oh, that's
cottage
another
cheese.
good point.
It's so strong. No, my sperm is gonna come out super good. And then we get the tragic detail that his sperm was super bad.
Bro, I was
so-
throwing out cheese
No,
that last time.
because they tell you that
3
you
days
can,
before,
yeah.
nothing. You can't be intimate.
No, but we waited more because we were like I'm like, I was so stressed, you guys, that there was no action going on. So I think we waited like 5 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that thing came out like straight cheese,
Yeah.
dog. Anyway, so you walk out, you put it into the front desk, and then
That's it.
you go about your way. So that's how the process works, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, now I'm gonna test again in September. Bro, I'm just dabbing everybody up now. The nurse, what's up, girl? How you doing? What's up, man? How you doing? What's up, bro? How you doing? Like nothing. At this
Okay.
point, it becomes nada.
Okay, so I've actually gotten this question a lot. So how was my experience with the silent exam and the HG? So
Okay.
we're gonna do the silent exam. So my experience with that exam is that the only uncomfortable part that I felt was when they put the el pato, which is the machine to open up your vagina, and then they put salt water. So I didn't feel any pain in that exam. It was more of like a discomfort and a little bit of pressure. It is a little bit uncomfortable because once you sit down, you just like drip. So I would suggest to go in comfy clothes and something that if you spill, like a lot of weird fluids in there. So make sure you wear like some sweats or something that you don't mind getting stained. How was my experience with the HSG? Which to 10, I have to say it was maybe like a 4.
10 being the worst.
10 being the worst
Okay.
because I did take the advice of taking the ibuprofen 800 before having the exam.
This is
So-
SSG?
Yes, the HSE.
Oh, okay.
So I
that's
took
not
the
bad.
ibuprofen. They told me take Valium. I said no, I don't like to take hard medicine. So I'm like, I'll do ibuprofen. So I was really scared of this exam because of social media, because I started to research SHG. The worst. Oh my God, it was horrible. Like it just freaked me out. So my experience with that exam is that the pain was a 4, but the fear of me having my tubes blocked was a 10. So if you combine those, the experience is not that great. But I think my fear was greater than my pain. And the relief that I felt, you guys, when I saw that my tubes, the dye go through my tubes, I just started crying because not that can get operated, but I think that was one of my biggest fears. My tubes are blocked, I'm gonna have to get surgery, or what if I don't have a tube? So I would say the exam overall is like a 7. So take your medicine, make sure they give you antibiotics from 3 to 5 days before the exam, because a lot of people, because of the dye, get an infection.
And after?
Yes, so
How many
it's
days
3
after?
No, so it's a day or 2 before the exam, and then you finish the days.
So like 2 and 2 maybe.
Yes, because I've gotten a lot of messages from you guys. Oh, they didn't give me the antibiotics, and then I got an infection.
Yo, that's
So
crazy.
please always ask for the antibiotics and do your part, because sometimes since this is all new to us, we don't know.
Right.
You know, and now that we have this open topic between people who see us online, I've learned so much from you guys that I want to also help people who don't know. Maybe they don't give them antibiotics, maybe they don't suggest the ibuprofen, maybe you're just seeing the worst stories. You know, the worst things always go viral, not necessarily
They're
the
good.
good advice.
So is IUI an option is the next question. 100%, guys. I think that would be our next step, okay? If we can't conceive naturally, the next 3 months, September, I get tested. If I'm all good and we still can't conceive, we 100% trying IUI. It's gonna be a lot less invasive than IVF. That's the one we wanna avoid.
Yeah.
Okay, so we can try anything else before getting there. So with that said, if you guys want a part 2, if this was helpful, comment below new questions, any thoughts, curiosity, stories, comment them below and we'll do a part 2.
I do want to add something which I think is insightful. I've gotten a lot of messages of people saying, oh, I checked my fertility, I got a sonogram. And that is misinformation, because I got a sonogram 3 years ago and they told me everything was fine and that we were super good. And look, they found that I have a small polyp. So
it's not happening.
And it's not happening.
Yeah.
So I think that for you to check if you're fertile, it's not just a sonogram that you can have at the gynecologist. That is a lie. You need to get your blood test work. You need to get your sonogram exam. You need to get your SAG. You need to do genetic testing. So I think there's a big misconception of, oh, this means I'm good. No. You guys need to do deep checking. If you guys haven't gotten pregnant for a long time and all you've gotten is the gyno telling you you're good, I suggest you go to a fertility clinic.
Different.
And that's the mistake we made. And we don't want other people to maybe waste 3 years like we did and, oh, we're good, it will just happen, instead of, you want to be proactive. So definitely look for a fertility doctor.
Okay guys, so make sure to subscribe, comment below more questions. Maybe we do a part 2 if this was helpful. And with that, we will see you next time. We love you.
Bye.